Hey everybody, welcome back to another Blast from the Past G.I.Joe Classified Edition. Today we're going to be looking at the enemy commander, Cobra Commander. He is number 6 in the line, and this particular figure had two other variant versions. One was a very similar looking, except in a much lighter blue color, similar to the color of the Cobra Commander from the cartoons and the original figure. And the other one was called Snake Supreme Cobra Commander, and he was an exclusive, I believe, San Diego Comic-Con for 2020 or 2021, something like that. He came in a special packaging, and he was a little bit different, had some slightly different accessories, essentially similar design, but with little tweaks here and there. Longer cape, different design on the chest, stuff like that. But I didn't get either of those, so we're only going to be focusing on the regular standard release of the Cobra Commander. Now, this figure is significantly different than the original figure and the cartoon version, which many people were unhappy with, many collectors. Some people even derisively refer to this particular Cobra Commander as Bellhop Cobra Commander. They feel like he looks like he works at a hotel. So, getting right into it, let's move him out of the way. As before, the box has a similar design as the other figures that we've seen so far in these reviews. This is the window where the figure is in. Artwork on the front there. Got more artwork on the side. See some Cobra Knight Ravens at the top there. Hopefully they'll make those into a HasLab one day, although they may be too big. On this side, you get the code for the file cards, essentially. That same picture on the back. The top window for the light, number 6. Legalese on the bottom. Same box. Bringing in the commander. Let's get the stand off of him. Now, as you can see, he's got this pretty similar helmet that you're used to with Cobra Commander, but quite a different design. He looks more like, this looks more like ceremonial. Like if Cobra Commander was doing a speech or something like that, rather than something he would wear in battle. Now, they're going to be releasing there's a version that's coming with the HasLab Hiss Tank that's more similar to the original release. That's one's known as the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander because the Cobra emblem on his chest kind of has the appearance of Mickey Mouse. That was basically an homage to the Cobra Commander that came with the Missile Command set back in the early 80s for the Real American Hero line. But it's pretty much guaranteed that they're going to re-release that retro version of Cobra Commander with the normal Cobra emblem, not the Mickey Mouse version, at some point for retail. Because not everyone got the HasLab, and I think most people would be annoyed if the only way you could ever get that Cobra Commander was through the HasLab. I do imagine that some people will be selling their Cobra Commander on eBay instead of keeping him, and his prices will probably he'll probably fetch some pretty good prices, and put it that way. But as you can see, this Cobra Commander has got some good design and coloring. It's just the big issue I have with this particular one is this thing right here, this little half cape, as well as the coattails here. The main issue I have with that is if you get him in a seated position, like if you want to put him on a throne, see how this hangs down on the bottom? You can't like get him seated properly. In order to sit him in like any kind of throne, you'd have to cut a hole in the throne to thread the cape through, or just take it off of him. So it's kind of pointless. Plus this hangs down as well, so that's the problem with plastic as opposed to regular cloth. Obviously a cloth cape would just fold up underneath him when he sat down. So soft goods would have been better in that regard. Let's see, for the head, Cobra Commander's got some, look down a bit and look up, side to side, some tilt. Arms go all the way around on both sides. He's got pinned arms, as most of the figures in the early waves did. They are double hinged, which is good. He's got an up-down hinge on the right hand and a side-side hinge on the left hand. He's got a bit of a crunch, not too much. There we go. He can arc back a bit more. Doesn't have any waist movement though. That's just, the whole piece is kind of molded into one. Like this, the flap at the bottom is loose, but it's like molded onto this piece here and then connected onto the upper torso. So the only movement in the torso really is right at that cut in the middle there. No waist twist. He does have the drop down hips that are standard for G.I. Joe classified. He can get his legs out about that far. He's got thigh cut. He's got pinned double joints at the knees. Got a boot cut, nicely hidden by the actual top of the boot there. His foot can go back like that far, go forward that far, and got a twisting pin there for rocking. Now he does have extra hands, which isn't standard with G.I. Joe, only a few have them. Out of the package, he comes with the trigger hand on the right hand, and this on the left hand. In the left hand, he comes with this grip hand here. Let's see. There you go. Kind of an open claw grip hand. Or if you want to have him being like victory is mine kind of pose. You can also replace those with that fist that I had in his hand before, and then the right hand you can replace with a pointing finger if he wants to point the way forward or the way back to retreat, or if he just wants to stick a finger in Destro's face or something like that. You can do that. Aside from the hands, he comes with this silver gun, which is very intricate in design, but you can't see those designs too well because the plastic is just all silver, and it would have benefited from some paint to really bring out the design on it. But unless you like get it really close up, you can't see it very well, unfortunately. There's like a snake slithering along the side there, as you can see it. It's a pretty antique looking pistol. I don't know how effective it would be in a fight. It looks like something that you would have found from a pirate in the old days of the Caribbean. Lastly, he comes with this dagger, this ceremonial dagger. And that does have some paint on it. It's got a nice golden cobra head at the top there. And the dagger slides right into the sheath out of his side. Right there. And then he can hold the gun in his hand. Now he doesn't have a holster for the gun, so he would have to hold it. But aside from the extra hands, he can carry everything on his person. Obviously, he can't carry the hands. That would look weird. But everything else he can carry perfectly well. Let me just get him back on his stand. And now I'll bring in the Super 7 version for comparison. As you can see, the Super 7 version is more like the original figure and the cartoon. It's got that same color and design. And this is what the retro version that's coming with the Hiss tank will look like, except for the emblem, as I mentioned before. The emblem on his chest will have that Mickey Mouse looking piece on top. But there will be a retro standard release that won't come with the Hiss tank. That should come out some point later. Here they are standing exactly right next to each other. And you can see the Super 7, as usual, is quite a bit bigger, quite a bit taller than the classified version. So it wouldn't look great in a classified display. But there you have it. That'll be all for this review. Give me a like and subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you next time.